I think this is a conversation that needs to be had. So I was scrolling on TikTok the other day and I came across this boy video and he was basically saying, why don't Africans like black Americans? He was trying to talk to this African girl at his job, but she ignored him. But he did see that she was talking to the white people. So he got to wonder, why don't Africans like black people? Let me just go ahead and say, and let me be the one to say, it's not that Africans don't like black people. It's the other way around, sadly. Black people don't like Africans. And what do I mean by that, you ask? Because when making fun of Africans was a thing not too long ago, y'all had everything in the world to say about us. Y'all called us all types of names. We were called African booty scratchers. We were told that we climb trees. We sleep with lions and tigers. We walk barefooted. We don't have no shoes.
Welcome back to Van TV Media, guys. If you're new, please just consider subscribing to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Today we dive into a deep and sometimes uncomfortable question: why do some black Americans seems to hate Africans? Let's break it down. Real talk, no sugarcoating. Guys, if you're not subscribed to our channel, just subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell so that in case we do upload any story, you'll be the first one to view.
I think this is a conversation that needs to be had. So I was scrolling on TikTok the other day and I came across this boy video and he was basically saying, why don't Africans like black Americans? He was trying to talk to this African girl at his job, but she ignored him. But he did see that she was talking to the white people. So he got to wonder, why don't Africans like black people? Let me just go ahead and say, and let me be the one to say, it's not that Africans don't like black people. It's the other way around, sadly. Black people don't like Africans. And what do I mean by that, you ask? Because when making fun of Africans was a thing not too long ago, y'all had everything in the world to say about us. Y'all called us all types of names. We were called African booty scratchers. We were told that we climb trees. We sleep with lions and tigers. We walk barefooted. We don't have no shoes. We live in huts. We eat goat. Although we do eat goat. So all these stereotypes, so on, all these very different varieties of stereotypes that made us so uncomfortable that we started to hate ourselves. And it's so crazy because we were never spoken to like that by the white man. They never made us feel less than ourselves. I could never just understand the hatred because we're literally the same color. You're no better than me and we bleed the same. And then they say, I'm not African, I'm black American. It be your own kind. Then you call them African American and they hate it. They don't want to be associated with Africans. So they say, I'm American or I'm Cherokee. They made it seem like being African was a crime. It was just recently that the Americans started showing love to Africans. And that's just because the celebrities started showing love first. So you know what that means. Everybody hopped on the bandwagon. It started from wearing dashikis to listen to African music to now eating African food. We're finally accepted in y'all eyes. So Africans never hated black Americans. It was always black Americans that hated Africans.
So I know a lot of y'all might come at my neck for this, but have y'all seen the video of the 59-year-old nurse? She is an African nurse who says that she hates African American people. She would not march with us for any cause. She said that she particularly does not like African American women and that she thinks that she is better than us. And then she also proceeded to say, you stay in your lane and I'm going to stay in my lane. Well, I feel like for all that, stay in your country. Stay in your country. Like, what are you over here for? If you hate African American people so bad, why won't you stay in Africa? Why did you come over here? Did you come over here because you knew it was better opportunities, that you could make a little bit more money, that living conditions might be better? And trust me, I know that Africa is beautiful. I know there are many, many beautiful places in Africa. But what are you here for? What are you here for? And what makes it even worse is that you're a nurse. And I feel like you being a nurse is dangerous because if you don't like African American people, how are you going to properly care for an African American person? And I'm going to link her name down below. I'm going to tag her page down below so you guys can see. I don't see that video on her page, but it's definitely her. But yeah, if you don't like us, what are you here for? Stay in your country. You stay in your country and we'll stay in our lanes. We don't need you. We don't need you for anything for real. You know, I'm not going to sit up here and bash Africans because there's a lot of African people that I know that I really, really am cool with. But for you to say all of that and then tell us to stay in our lane, I think you should take your own advice and stay in your own country.
Okay, I'm the advisor for a group of African students. And the thing about it is, I hope that they learn from me just as I'm learning from them. Me being Black American and them being, actually born and from Africa. Me being much older, there's some things that I know and have seen that they have yet to see because they're still young. But I think, just my personal opinion, the biggest cause, one of the reasons for the cause of the differences between Black Americans and, people from Africa is the fact that, number one, we never controlled our own history. How our history is taught, when it's shared, we never control that. That's been a huge factor because me taking it upon myself to I like to learn about Africa. I like to learn about Black American history as well because the two are connected. But we don't have control of our own history. We're always relying on it to be fed to us because it was snatched from us, especially Black Americans. The second thing is, most of the issues is based on the fact that we both have been sold marketing propaganda that's out of our control. Black Americans have been portrayed a certain way to the African community. The African community has been portrayed a certain way to the Black American community. So you have to actually get away from the media and the marketing to really learn about each community yourself. You have to. You can't do it watching TV. You can't do it watching movies. Because both sides, we're both portrayed in a negative way. And for some reason, we see what we see on TV and adopt that as, oh, that's all Africa. Like over here when they show the TV commercials of, kids with flies and stuff all over them. Oh, please feed them. That's what they show us that Africa is. And then even, I'm not sure what they show in Africa. Now, I've been to Africa, but that was during my military days, so I didn't get a chance to really explore. But the thing about it is showing that Black Americans are gangsters and shooters and all this type stuff, and it's so far from the truth of what each one is. And the other thing is, at a certain point, you have to start actually interacting with each other. Not assuming, but just, we got to start interacting with each other on a more, I don't care. I mean, you can do Zoom meetings, whatever, but it needs to be something where you're interacting with someone from Africa, from America, to sort of understand. Because there's just so much to unpack. Will it happen overnight? Will things be different overnight? No. But it's a starting point. Keeping it short.
I understand what you're saying because you can definitely spot out a Yoruba babe versus a Xhosa or a Zulu babe or an Ethiopian. Every ethnic group or tribe or whatever has distinct features. However, I want to say to think that Black Americans look totally different than continental West Africans or Central Africans, which are the primary regions which we come from, can kind of be problematic because say for instance my Gullah family, you can't really spot the difference other than if they open their mouths or their clothes, just by looking at someone's face you're not gonna know. And I have had people comment under my pictures, especially the FBA people, no, you look like you're from Ghana, you're not a Black American, because this can be very problematic because then it gets to hair texturism, colorism, and body phenotype. Yeah. This is someone from Angola, and this is me. We look like we can be cousins. What the fuck?
Because your ethnicity, you know what I mean? Black is only an ethnicity because of white people. So if you're in Nigeria and you're
Yoruba,
yeah,
Igbo.
exactly. Yeah. You're not black. You're Yoruba. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You become black when you leave Africa and you have to be around white people, and then they group us all together as black people, right? So I mean, of course you're black, but you're not. Yeah, that's not your identity. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think that when you come here and you're in these spaces with white people, and you have to be black, right? Like you're no longer your ethnicity.
And even you being American,
yeah,
and me being African, but when we are out here, we are all seen as black people.
Exactly.
It's like they treat you like these are black people.
Exactly.
So do you feel like there is supposed to be some unity amongst us out here, even in Europe?
I think so.
Yeah.
And I don't think that a lot of Africans see that, you know.
Yeah, you brought that conversation up, and what was that about? Because I see a lot of black Americans some time back on Twitter, and they started this argument about Black Americans and Africans are not like the same people. We are different people. And what I mean,
we're different culturally, right? We're different culturally. And what I guess, like, for Black Americans, we've always had to look at each other for safety, you know, like generationally. Yeah. So if you are someplace, the first thing you scan the room, if it's all white people, you're like, okay, there's one other black person in here. Yeah. You know, I got backup, right? Like I got backup. But here, if I see an African in this shop, I don't know if I have backup.
Why?
Because they might side with the other folks.
Why would you say that?
Dude, I have had an African man, like one of the security guards, like I was leaving Italy, I had made an order to be delivered. And my baby had like little crackers, not even like a whole, like, you know, like one of those little pouches. This man chased me out the store, grabs me like this, and was like, "Did you pay for that?" And I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like, and I was like, "Sir, you are doing the master's work." You know, and I was like, he's grabbing me. And so I was like, yes, I paid for it. And he was like, "I want to see the receipt." And I was like, oh my God, it was like a little pouch of crackers. You know what I mean? And like, I mean, I had paid for it because I was having a bunch of stuff delivered, but it was just like, for real, brother? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was just...
I feel like that is a situation with that person. That doesn't mean... Because back in Africa, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm from, Kumasi.
Okay, y'all. I was upset with the South African, Nigerian, Black American beef. I was upset with y'all for beefing. I really was. I was disappointed in y'all. But... shit is getting juicy. It's getting pretty good. I feel like the father of two kids that's fighting right now. You know, one of the kids, at first you start fighting, and then it starts getting to where you can see where this is going. It's like, I believe it's gonna make y'all tougher. It's gonna make y'all closer. Because after y'all get through beating the shit out of each other, I think y'all are gonna be okay and realize that both of you got some fighting you. Nigerians is just as messy as fucking Americans. Yeah, I said it. Nigerians are just as fucking messy as Americans. Facts.
For decades, the media has painted Africa as a continent of poverty, war, and disease. At the same time, Black Americans are often shown as gangster, criminal, or victims. This stereotype poisons mind on both sides, creating diversion where there should be unity. Some African American believes Africans betrayed them, sold them into slavery, but the truth is more complex. Colonial powers appointed tribal rivalries and manipulated local leaders. We must understand that both sides were victims of a brutal system. African grows up with strong tribal roots, language, and customs. African Americans, stripped of their heritage, build a new culture from survival, Sometimes these differences create misunderstanding, even disrespect. But difference is not weakness, it is righteousness. In the US, some African Americans feel African immigrants benefits from opportunities born from civil rights struggles without knowing the fight. At the same time, some Africans seems African Americans as not taking full advantages of what available. Both sides forget the system was not built for either to succeed. Instead of fighting each other, we must fight ignorance. We must fight the system that keeps us divided. Because when Africans and African Americans unite, we are powerful. More than just skin color connects us. Our histories, our struggles, and our dreams are one. Let's talk what our experience have. You faced tension between Africans and African Americans? Drop your comment, like, and share this video to your friends and relatives. And guys, let us meet in the next episode.
Hello and welcome to Van TV Media. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and share it with your friends to get daily updates.